Okay, next stitch that I'm going to be showing is called a back stitch. And I'm just making sure that my knot is at the bottom of my yarn before I get started. And back stitch. What's going to end up happening is you're going to end up going backwards, just like in the name. So this is great for making shapes, making lines as well that you don't want gaps to have. If you don't want any gaps in it, this is a great stitch to use. Just like all of the other ones, you start from the back and you come to the front. So we're starting out the same way with all of these stitches. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be what looks to be creating a straight stitch. So I'm going to go from the front to the back to create my first stitch. Okay. Now the next stitch I do, I'm going to create what looks to be a gap that's about the same size or same length as my stitch. Okay, you see the needle poking out? It's about the same. Now I'm going to come and bring that needle through all the way. Now instead of me going forward like I would with a normal running stitch and leaving that gap, I'm going to close that gap by taking my needle and putting it in to the same hole that first stitch ended. And I'm going to pull, 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 pull. And what ends up happening is you have a continuous stitch. The next one that you'll do is the same thing. You're going to go above what you just did, about the same distance as one of your stitches. Bring it all the way through. And then you'll go backward and end in that last stitch. Pull, pull, pull. And again, you'll see no gap. If I wanted to, let's say, make a square or a shape, maybe I could turn, pull all the way through, go back to my last stitch. So I'm starting to create the start of a square. And I'm going to go back to my last stitch from the front to the back. And I'm going to maybe do one more. Go backward to the last stitch. And then I'm going to turn now behind. Do all this behind so no one sees this. Go to my last stitch. Okay. Down. Go back up to my last stitch, pull through, and you can see I'm starting to create a square or a rectangle. Okay, so if you're wanting to create a shape or if you're wanting to do a border or a line where there's no gaps, a back stitch is a great stitch to use.